Hi everyone, my name is Andy Ogaga and I'm that tech boy that loves real estate. So today we'll be talking about the different types of allocations that are given by the FCDA to owners of properties in Abuja. And we'll be starting with the residential allocations, where the types of buildings that goes there are dependent on the densities that have been allocated to such properties. So first of all, these properties comprise of the high density, the low density, and the medium density allocations. So we'll be starting with the high density. The high density takes buildings such as high rises, and they normally have about 3 to 4 suspended floors, and you have higher number of people living in such locations or in such properties. Then we also have the medium density, where with respect to the square meter that have been allocated, you have a lower number of families that can live in such locations. In such allocations, you have things like the terraces, you have things like apartments, but maybe these apartments will have maybe maximum of 1 or 2 suspended floors. And then finally, within the residential, we also have the low density. The low density are things that normally would have at best possibly the fully detached, where one family would live in a particular property, and maximum you can make it such that 2 families would live, and the building would be a semi-detached building. Normally the low density has the size of around 450 square meters. The medium density has within the range of 500 600 square meters to maybe 1000 to 1200 square meters, while the high density has 1200 square meters above. Next is the mixed use allocation, where the mixed use allocation takes care of the amount of commercial properties and the amount of residential properties that would be merged in such properties. So for example, you might have a 3000 square meter plot of land, and in that 3000 square meter you might decide to use 1000 square meters to build a commercial property, which could be a mall, or which could be a school, or most likely maybe a filling station, and then use the other parts for residential. Now this residential could be, of course, could be apartments, could be terraces, or could even be semi-detached. It could also be fully detached if you so wish. And finally, we would then talk about the commercial. The commercial has plot sizes ranging from 2000, 3000 square meters and above. The commercial takes things like malls. You can build things like malls. You can put in things like schools and things like hospitals and possibly filling stations. So most likely you will be using the commercial buildings to make money. Commercial buildings are buildings where most likely people don't live in. There's a lot of traffic into the place, but people don't actually reside in such locations. So the commercial buildings can also have things like mall buildings and the likes. So I would like you guys to talk about what you've experienced with regards to the types of allocations within Abuja that you've heard of, and if those allocations were what you thought of when you were buying that property. So that's all for now. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, guys.